Hello, beautiful beings of love and light. It's Eve here, and I'm doing a very special video focusing in on both the Mercury retrograde cycle as well as the Mars one that we are headed very fast into right now. I was feeling like I needed to get this information out to all of you, and I will be putting this up on all of my different social media, so do check that out. If I have time at the end, I will bring in the card messages that I got from the unicorn realm, the magic unicorn, and the magic cosmic dragon realm, because we have some messages that came in for me here today from these realms in terms of what are the energies that are really assisting us in this cycle. But for right now, I want to focus on the astrology here. We are currently in Mercury retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. Mars is in the sign of Leo, getting ready to start its retrograde on December 6th. To have both Mercury and Mars in retrograde can be an intense journey. In astrology and in our charts, Mercury defines our communication skills, our ability to communicate, our thought patterns, all of the forms of transportation that we use. It's how we move in the world through all the means of communication that are available to us. And when Mercury goes retrograde, the energy is going through a reversal. And that was the word I kept getting recently. Expect reversals in your life right now. When you would normally go right, you're being asked to go left. When you think something is going to work in this direction, it ends up flipping on you in some form. So just be aware that the energy is going to show up differently. And this is because we need to learn a lesson here. Mercury started its cycle in Sagittarius in the beginning of November. It entered the retrograde here on November 25th, and it will exit the retrograde on December 15th. Keeping in mind that you might have started feeling these energies coming in that very first week of November. And then Mercury goes through what's called a storm period, where it's so slow, it feels like it's barely moving. Well, Mercury enters the storm approximately 4 days before it goes into retrograde. So Mercury entered the storm here on November 20th. And then it went into retrograde right here over Thanksgiving in the last few days. And it's going to exit on December 15th. It's still going to be in that outer storm window, though, until December 20th. That means that we have exactly 1 month, if you will, November 20th, December 20th, where we get to look at what is Mercury bringing into our lives when it is at its slowest movement or in its retrograde period. It's in the sign of Sag, so we are meant to learn through the energy of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about external growth. It's all about expansion, looking at things from different perspectives, expanding our visual of the world. Sagittarius is the traveler. So when we're in Mercury in Sagittarius, we want to be traveling. However, the traveling we may be doing could be inward because it's in a retrograde window, which is energy going inward. Now, Mercury, as I said, is one of the most active planets. Think about this. Everything in our world revolves around some form of communication. We're always thinking, we're always using our cell phones, our laptops, we're in cars, we're on trains, we're on airplanes. Mercury rules all of these areas. and be aware that when we're in this 1 month here, if you will, 1 month, give or take a few days, there could be a lot of delays. Flights could be delayed or canceled. Time seems like it's reversing itself, or it's much slower than it was previously. So when we think we're going to get somewhere in 2 hours, it takes us 3 hours or even longer than that. These are the things that Mercury brings to us. It's asking us to slow our mental energy down, to instead of be going, planning, instead ground your energy. The best tools to use right now are any spiritual tool. Anyone that's going to a retreat, doing spiritual work at this time, that is one of the best things you could possibly be doing, because you want to ground into your physical body, get out in nature, connect with your breathing, meditation, yoga, cooking, gardening, hiking. All of these things are going to keep you in a more peaceful state, and it's going to slow the energy down enough so that you can do the inner work. And all of the retrogrades, but specifically Mercury, we use any word that starts with RE. Reversal. It's time to go on a retreat, to do a review. Oftentimes in Mercury retrogrades, we find ourselves reviewing things. Instead of something getting done the first time we attempted it, it's going to take us probably 2 or 3 or 4 times. So understand, you're going to need to give something more of your energy, and it could be that you're being asked to perfect it. Because Mercury is a very fast-moving planet. It usually goes through one sign in around 22 to 23 days. But when it's in its retrograde cycle, it's in that sign for 2 months and 1 week. Even when we exit the storm of Mercury, Mercury's going to stay in Sagittarius until approximately January 7th, going into the 8th, where it then goes into Capricorn. It's giving us a great opportunity here to really work with this fiery Sagittarius energy, which is the explorer. It's asking you to travel in ways you've never traveled before, and to travel with your spirit, to travel with your mind, right? Understand, though, to bring into your daily reality those words that start with RE. The retreat, the review, the reversal, the release. All of these words are very significant. And the other one that was coming up for me was renew. It's a great time for spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental renewal, an entire renewal of our body and our soul. Because this Mercury cycle in Sag is occurring over the ending of fall, and it's occurring over the beginning of winter. It's in the time where we experience the darkest time of the year, which is always a time to go internal, to go within, to find the answers. So inner reflection is going to be another part of this cycle that's so very important to us. Now, this beautiful new moon, which here on anyone that lives on the Pacific Ocean area, Hawaii, the western side of the US, the mountain side of the US, we are getting our 2 new moons in 1 month, this month of November. And here I live in California and San Diego. So we have here at the end of the evening on November 30th, we have a new moon, which is the second new moon of November. We have a very beautiful month this year of November, where we started on November 1st with a new moon in Scorpio at 9 degrees Scorpio. We are completing the month with a new moon at 9 degrees of Sagittarius, completely embedded within this Mercury cycle. And this is called a black moon because we have 2 new moons within the same month. It's a powerful energy. where you get to recreate your life. Another RE word. So let's move on to Mars. In the middle of this, Mars is also going to go into retrograde. Now, Mars's cycle, when it's going through a retrograde, is much longer than Mercury. Mars goes into retrograde approximately every 25 to 26 months. Mars here is retrograding in the sign of Leo. And so we've got both Mercury and Sag and Mars and Leo. It's very fiery energy, which is the energy of inspiration, optimism, taking leaps of faith. Very important energy right now. So you might find yourself very fiery though, like you want to fight for the things you believe in here. Fire energy, and the third fire sign is Aries, and we will have next year Venus retrograding in Aries, as well as the next Mercury. So all the fire signs and the fire element itself is very, very active for many, many months to come. And fire is what propels us forward. It propels us faster than all the four elements into new pathways. It gives us the courage, the inspiration, and the vision to see something ahead that we want to move towards. But fire gives us not only that inspiration, but it lights that fire under us. It pushes us, gives us momentum. And Mars is a very, very active planet. It rules our passion, it rules our vitality, it rules our drive. So just as Mercury is a very active energy, Mars is the other most active planet in our charts. And to have both of them in a retrograde cycle at the same time, at least over a period of about 10 days, I believe, they will be both retrograde. Mars goes retrograde here on December 6th, so to the 15th. Yep, that's about 10 days, 10, 11 days. However, Mars is slowed down an awful lot. It's very much in its shadow window right now. Therefore, we could consider it almost into retrograde. We're in its energy already. So we've got these two beautiful planets in fire signs that rule movement forward, but they're both going in retrograde, which means that there's going to be delays across the board. Both Mars and Mercury are telling us we need to rethink things. We need to really sit with what it is we want to accomplish here, the actions we want to take, and what are the outcomes we want to see. What are the new pathways we wish to create here as we enter a brand new year in 2025. So these planets are doing a beautiful service for us by slowing us down mentally and with our communication, where we want to rethink on things or reconsider things to make sure we're choosing the right words and we're using the right language, right? With Mars, it's about the action we're taking. So Mercury is the communication and the thinker. Mars is the action and the drive that moves us forward. And the fact that they're both in fire signs is telling us that they are in alignment with one another right now. And Mars in Leo is asking you to look at your personal authenticity and identity. Is this what you want to create? Is this the movement you want to move forward within? And then to move forward with that. All right, so I'm going to continue this video on my YouTube because I don't have enough time on Instagram. So all of you watching me on Instagram, please follow me onto my YouTube channel, as I'm not done with Mars here. Now Mars will exit Leo and re-enter Cancer while it's in retrograde on January 5th. So Mars is doing its retrograde cycle across Cancer and Leo, so it's both water and fire elements here. But take the time to really sit and rethink and look at the actions you want to take. All right? beautiful. So for all of you watching me on YouTube, I just want to leave you with the dates for when Mars entered its cycle. Mars entered the sign of Cancer on September 5th, and it started its movement forward here into its cycle, and then it entered the sign of Leo, I believe it was November 3rd or 4th. And when it entered it in the beginning of November, we started to really feel that Leo energy. But keep in mind that Mars on its retrograde cycle is going across both Leo and Cancer. The element here is fire, and the other element is water. So it's not only about following our creative, inspirational body, which is fire, it's also about following our hearts, because water is our emotional body. It's where our joy lives. If you're not happy about something, you're not feeling very emotionally well, are you? Our emotions bring us our happiness. You've got to feel emotionally good about something to truly be happy. And Mars going back and forth in Cancer is allowing us to access how we really feel about things. And is this right for us? And then Mars in Leo, in that portion of Leo, is telling us to show up with authenticity. So it's accessing our deepest passion and what we want to create here in our lives, both in terms of our creative potential, but also our emotional well-being. And then we're being asked to stand in that with full authenticity and to take a leadership role with creating that in our life. All right, so again, we started out this Mars cycle, September, October in Cancer, pretty much November, December, through the first couple days of January, it will be in Leo. So we're getting to really feel how Mars is guiding us through the element of water and the element of fire. It will be then going back into Cancer on January 6th, I believe, where it will stay through the rest of its retrograde. Mars will come out of retrograde on February 23rd, the night of February 23rd, and it will exit Cancer, I think the middle of April, around April 18th, and re-enter Leo, where it will finish its journey in Leo almost up to the summer solstice. So I really wanted to talk about Mars and extend my video from Instagram into YouTube so that I don't have to cut this short. Mars is really going to be the ultimate guiding planet here. However, we're going to have 2 Mercury retrogrades in this cycle, both in the signs of fire, Sag right now, and when we get into March, Mercury will be retrograding in Aries, going back into late Pisces. So the focus here are the elements of water again and fire, and water is asking us to really go deep within our emotional body to see what do we really want to create here. What is it we want? What is going to make us truly, truly happy? Because our joy is what fuels our inspiration. And so I like that beautiful water-fire blend that's happening here for us and guiding us. And that fire energy is going to be our ability to take action, but only after we've accessed our emotional body fully to really know where we want to invest our energy and time. All right, everyone, sending you so much love with the astrological portion here. And I do want to look at the card messages for those of you that are checking me out on YouTube and also Facebook, because the unicorns and the dragons were speaking. So I brought in the message from the magical unicorns, and I love it. We have spiritual warrior. These are the energies from the black moon, this beautiful new moon here on November 30th. It's a 22-day numerologically, so that's the day of the master builder, the master architect. It's saying with the energy of 22 that you need to build it. So you're going to need to put in the work to bring into being whatever it is you are wanting to create. It's interesting with the energy of Leo, every time I tap into it, I keep seeing the word creation. Create, create, create. So really tap into that, please. And the spiritual warrior is number 37, which is a 10 or a 1. So it's offering us new pathways, right? Show that you are a wise leader. Command the universe. The spiritual warrior is that energy where the lion is laying down with the lamb. It's that perfect equilibrium of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine within all of us, where we can use courage with gentleness. We can take action with kindness, right? It's a beautiful energy. And the message is, you're a spiritual warrior. Believe in yourself. Believe in your journey. Command the universe. The universe is opening itself up right now to give you the power to bring in the highest version of whatever it is you want to create, including the highest version of yourself. To do so, you need to command. Be in a place where you really believe in your authenticity and your pathway, and you use that beautiful equilibrium between your divine sacred feminine and your divine sacred masculine energies. And there is nothing that you cannot create as long as it is in alignment with your truth. Because the fire energies speak to us fully embodying our truth. And that is what this is about. So I want to see if there's an extra message here for me to read to you, because it's such a beautiful message. When you are a spiritual warrior, you are strong, you are courageous, and you are wise. You are emotionally mature because you are embodying the masculine and the feminine qualities and equilibrium. You are being called on right now to also look within and to see that you have the qualities of a spiritual warrior. So we're being guided through this beautiful black moon occurring while Mars is getting ready to go retrograde and Mercury's already there. We're being asked to enter in to the shoes of the spiritual warrior because we carry that within each of us. And it's time to illuminate that, right? I love it. Stand in your power with wisdom. But be clear and firm about what it is that you want to create before you start the journey. So get really clear on what is your passion, what is your truth, and then start taking the steps to create it. And know that on your journey, when you embody the energy of the spiritual warrior within, you will always be a force for good. Always. All right, that is a beautiful energy. So let's complete with the dragons, the cosmic dragons. The first card that came out was the Earth and the Water Dragon. So it's funny, we've got that beautiful water energy here, and now we have the Earth energy. Earth is always telling us or directing us to create the container for the water and the fire, right? Create the container. Create the foundation for new growth. When we have earth and water together, we bring in abundance. That's the message I'm seeing here. And it's so beautiful because we have the energy of the new moon right there behind the dragon. But it's the new moon in the first couple days following that new moon, which is the period we're going into right now. So the message here is a fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. But take the time to really create the pathway for this, because the earth and water dragons are going to give you guidance on this and even direction on the different paths and steps to take. When we have that earth and water dragon energy, they're telling you you're going to have many steps to take, and you do have to put the work diligently into this. But please know there's all this beautiful new growth around you, new opportunities facing you, and abundance is your pathway here. There's absolute energy of abundance coming to you if you follow the steps you are being guided to follow, and you keep with it. You don't give up on it. You keep following these steps. Follow through is the other word I'm getting here. Yeah, it's time to harvest the abundance. I love that message. And finally, we've got more water. The aquamarine dragon from Neptune. Well, aquamarine is the stone of Pisces, which is what I am. And the Neptunian energy is magic and miracles. And it's high creativity as well. And I love it because the energy here is this beautiful healing energy that is the lovely blue, which is a healing energy. We've got this dragon surrounded by seahorses carrying Neptune's trident and the key to your heart. So there's a lot of messages that the aquamarine dragon from Neptune is bringing. Wow, that's a lot to say, right? And it comes under the 7th dimension, which is Neptune. This dragon is enabling you to access your deepest soul wisdom. So when you call on the Neptunian dragon, she or he, or it, if we will, is going to allow you access to your soul wisdom. So, but you want to call this dragon in, and in order to do so, you need to be around the energy or the vibration of water. So get a glass of water, go out by a lake or running water, or get in the shower or the bath, or go by the ocean, and then call in this dragon, because the dragon is about the energy of flow. Just as Earth is the energy of stability and providing the container, the water energy is about flow and being fluid with it and not allowing things to dam the flow. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you right now. Develop your psychic abilities and receive soul knowledge. So this beautiful dragon is here to help you really access that. I'm going to see if I can't find a little bit more on that, because I've never received that dragon before. And yet I am very, very connected to the planet Neptune. Neptune is the watery planet of advanced spirituality and enlightenment. The aquamarine dragons from this illumined planet carry the light of the universe, which contains spiritual information and knowledge. So when you call on this beautiful aquamarine dragon, you're calling in the wisdom of the universe. And remember, it's bringing in the Neptunian energy, which is an energy of advanced spirituality and enlightenment. But the aquamarine dragon is asking you to always ask honestly and from a place of humility. It asks you to connect with them often. For each time you connect with the aquamarine dragon from Neptune, they will light up your entire energetic field, and there will be more codes of healing, wisdom, love, and light that you will be able to access. So what the aquamarine dragon from Neptune is bringing in is codes from any cosmic journey that your soul has been in. So any lifetime you have led in any planetary system, including our own planet, the beautiful Gaia, which is a blue planet, by the way. So it's very much in alignment with Neptune, isn't it, as another blue planet. These two planets are calling to one another right now. And all of the soul imprints and codes you have left on Neptune, on the Earth, and any other planetary constellations or places you've been, you are going to be able to access them if it is important to your soul growth at this time. I love these messages. So I'm going to end with that and just calling on all of you to use this energy. Call in both the aquamarine dragon from Neptune and the earth and water dragon. Ask them to be your guides, and they will do so. And to also call in the spiritual warrior part of your soul. And if you want to ask the magical unicorns to help you on your journey, they will absolutely gladly do so.